Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Tirayet Srinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Atyantastha Bhadrani Vidhanati Savirsatam Ashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nastaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, verses 21. Panchasirsahina Guptam Pratiharena Sarvata Anveshamanam Rishabham Apradham Kamarupinim. Synonyms: Pancha, 5, Sirsha, heads, Ahina, by a snake, Guptam, protected, Pratiharena, by a bodyguard, Sarvata, all around, Anveshamanam, one who is searching after, Rishabham, a husband, Apradham, not very old, Kamarupinim, very attractive to fulfill lusty desires. Translation: The woman was protected on all sides by a five-hooded snake. She was very beautiful and young, and she appeared very anxious to find a suitable husband. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The vital force of a living entity includes the 5 kinds of air working within the body, which are known as prana, pana, vayana, samana, and udana. The vital force is compared to a serpent because a serpent can live by simply drinking air. The vital force carried by the air is described as the pratihara, or the bodyguard. Without the vital force, one cannot live for a moment. Indeed, all the senses are working under the protection of the vital force. The woman who represents intelligence was searching after a husband. This indicates that intelligence cannot act without consciousness. A beautiful woman is useless unless protected by the proper husband. Intelligence must always be very fresh. Therefore, the word apradham, very young, is used here. Material enjoyment means utilizing the intelligence for the sake of rupa, rasa, gandha, shabda, and sparsha, or form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. Text 22. Sunasam sudatitam balam sukhapolam varananam samavinyasta karnabhyam vipratim kundala sriyam. Sunasam, very beautiful nose. Sudatim, very beautiful teeth. Balam, the young woman. Sukhapolam, nice forehead. Varananam, beautiful face. Sama, equally. Vinyasta, arranged. Karnabhyam, both ears. Vipratim, dazzling. Kundal Shriyam, having beautiful earrings. Translation: The woman's nose, teeth, forehead were all very beautiful. Her ears were equally very beautiful and were bedecked with dazzling earrings. Purport: the body of intelligence enjoys the objects of sense gratification that cover it, such as smell, vision, hearing. The word sunasam, beautiful nose, indicates the organ for acquiring knowledge by smell. Similarly, the mouth is the instrument for acquiring knowledge by taste, or by chewing an object and touching it with the tongue, we can understand its taste. The word sukapolam, nice forehead, indicates a clear brain capable of understanding things as they are. By intelligence, one can set things in order. The earrings set upon the two ears are placed there by the work of the intelligence. Thus, the ways of acquiring knowledge are described metaphorically. Text 23: Visanganivim susronim syamam kanaka mekhalam padbhyam kwana kwanabhyam kunadbhyam chalantim nupure devatamiva. Visanga, yellow; nivim, garment; susronim, beautiful waist; shyamam, blackish; kanaka, golden; mekhalam, belt; padbhyam, with the feet; kwanadbhyam, tinkling; chalantim, walking; upure, with ankle bells; devatam, a denizen of heavens; iva, like. Translation: the waist and hips of the woman were very beautiful. She was dressed in a yellow sari with a golden belt. While she walked, her ankle bells rang. She appeared just exactly like a denizen of the heavens. This work expresses the joyfulness of the mind upon seeing a woman with raised hips and breast dressed in an attractive sari and bedecked with ornaments. End of purport. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Mam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So as we are discussing this chapter, which is a story in the form of a personal reflection of a living entity, of a human being rather, in the form of a male and female. It's a story of every living entity who has an opposite sex, male and female. I tell you that they're very small microorganisms that have male and female within the same body also. So here we are seeing that Narada Muni is reciting a story to King Prachin Barisat, whose sons, Prachetas, were delivered or were given the instruments for deliverance by Lord Shiva, none other than Lord Shiva. And Here, King Prachin Barisat, who has been involved in ruling the kingdom by the Karma Kanda mode, enjoying the opulences, ruling over the people of the world, and enjoying his senses to the fullest. So, by reciting the story of King Puranjana, Puranjana is nothing but a reflection, a mirror being shown to King Prachin Barisat that this is how the life unfolds for a person devoid of Krishna consciousness. One is born, one grows, one attains youth, and then wants to remain in youth all one's life. What doesn't happen? And then there is old age, diseases, and death. The whole philosophical discussions of religious scriptures is based upon the eternal truth that everything comes to an end and that this body will also come to an end at the time of death, which is the eternal truth. So, based on the fact that one has to die one day, one has to understand that what is the purpose of life. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. So the purpose of life is to realize our, revive our original constitutional position and elevate ourselves, qualify ourselves to go back home, the eternal home, to associate and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead so that we don't have to go through this material tribulations after having been born with a desire to enjoy the material, enjoy separate from Krishna. So King Prachin Barisat is being recited this story by Narada Muni that there was this character who is similar to you, but his name is Puranjana, who was living in the city of Nine Gates, this body. And he meets with the counterpart, the female, who is being described in the verses that I just read. And so this is the attraction that goes on between man and woman. And as soon as this attraction develops and a person is inclined to enjoy the opposite sex, that person and the opposite person, also both of them, are thrown into the illusory energy, are strictly in the grasp of the illusory energy of the Lord, Maya, which is very, very difficult to overcome. One way or the other, there is some realization when a person is committing this kind of a relationship that I am being drawn towards this. Something within him, super soul or soul, tells him that you are getting drawn in the illusory energy. You're getting entrapped. You're getting entrapped. Therefore, in our Vivaha Yajna, there is an opportunity, a chance is given to the groom. It's your last chance, run away. If you want to escape the wrath of the illusory energy. In some cases, I've heard this thing being recited by the Pandita. And that last chance before you commit. So what happens? So the senses, the mind, they are so strong and impetuous that they drag the human being into the living entity, into this Maya that brings forth the union between male and female, the products, offsprings, the children, form of children, and then activities for maintenance. Ingredients are all provided by the Lord because the Lord is watching as the super soul within. However, one keeps on thinking that he or she, they are enjoying this, and then suddenly old age hits. Then you realize, now what? I have to give up everything. I'm going to die. And the realization strikes. Just like we often hear this story about Narada Muni wanting to experience Prabhu's Maya. Says, Prabhu, I've never experienced Maya. Can you give me a glimpse of Maya, what it is like? When he was with Lord Vishnu, Supreme Master. So Lord Vishnu says, okay. They were going through a village, and Lord says, can you please go to the nearest house and get me a glass of water? And Narada Muni says, of course. And he goes there, knocks on the door to ask for a glass of water. But then he sees a very, very beautiful lady open the door, and Narada Muni is captivated by the beauty of this woman. And he asks the name, and he says whether she was married or not. And she was not married, and he proposes, he gets married, he gets offspring, children, and everything happening, and then everything is going on. And suddenly he realizes that several years have passed by, and then there is a devastating flood happens, and everything, like he loses everything, the house, the family, the children, and then he's shouting out to the Lord, Lord, save me. And then his dream kind of opens, and he realizes that he's standing in front of the Lord and holding a glass of water. So our life is also just like that. And when we realize, earlier we realize, then we will not fall into this illusory energy. But if we have fallen, then there is a way. There is hope that we can come out of it by diverting our mind towards Krishna. And Krishna is the deliverer. So we can disentangle ourselves from this illusory energy and do things conducive to spiritual realization and make our life successful.